Hi guys, it's LeJanaro back with another video. I would like to say welcome back to my channel and welcome all of my new subscribers. Thank you so much for subscribing to the channel. So today's video is me trying out a new technique for scrunchies. I did a video in my 12 days of Christmas last year where I made a scrunchie, and I did one particular method, and I've been seeing another method here in these YouTube streets. It's called the burrito method. So I wanted to try that and see if I could do it and get it done. And these are the scrunchies that I made. They're all different sizes. This is an extra large scrunchie. And at first I didn't really like it. I was like, ooh, it's too big. But it's kind of growing on me a little bit. So this is an extra large scrunchie. This is, I would say about maybe a large or a medium. I was really playing around with this fabric because I ended up sewing it wrong at first, and when I realized I sewed it wrong, I just took it all apart and just cut some of it off and made it shorter. So this is a different size, right? Looks like it doesn't have as much gathering in it, or maybe I just needed to do that a little more. But anyway, it's still big. And then this is a smaller one that I made. All right, so it's not technically a tutorial. This is, again, just me trying to experiment on the burrito method of making scrunchies. And I will show you guys how I cut the fabric, and I'll take you over to the sewing machine as well with me. So, all right, let's get started. All right, so this is just some Inquires print scraps that I had in my stash, and I'm just gonna, I have it folded in half with the right side spacing, selvage edges meeting, and I am going to just even this off here. So just gonna take this little jagged edge off. This is my first time using my mat. If you've watched my last couple of videos, you know the story behind the new mat. I'm little butterfingers when it comes to using rotary cutters. I don't always keep my ruler straight, so the rotary cutter ends up running all over the place. All right, so I just even that side off. And now I'm going to do, and I don't have any specific measurements in mind. I'm just kind of, like I said in the intro, just trying to do a extra large scrunchie and just seeing how it works out. I'll go ahead and cut two since I have some fabric left over on the end. And I'm also going to just cut off the selvage edge on this end here. Alright, so I'm just going to cut this other one because I think I have enough left to cut the same measurements. So my mat is not that bad. It's not what I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be difficult for me to keep up with the lines, but it's not. Measure over 7. Just want to make sure this is nice and straight. Make sure my ruler is straight. Did pretty good with my rotary cutter this time. I probably could get a small one out of this, but I'm not going to do it. Let's see. If I were to even these parts up, I probably could get another one in another size. I said I wasn't going to do it, but I might end up doing it. And just cutting off the selvage edge again. Alrighty. Trying to get this as even as possible. So like I said, no really rhyme or reason, just cutting. Alright, so I'm just gonna grab my elastic. I'm using a 1/2 inch elastic, and I'm just gonna go to the sewing machine, and I think I'm going to use I think my elastic piece will be 7 inches, so we'll see how that works. Alright, so this measures 7 inches by, let's see, 21.5. That is 43 inches long, right? And again, this is going to be a long scrunchie. Alright, so I'm going to take it to the sewing machine, and I'm going to sew down this edge about a 1/2 inch, and then I will be right back. Alright, I have this edge sewn down about a 1/2 inch. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to open this up. Right, and you can press the seam allowance if you like. I'm just going to finger press it. So I'm going to do the burrito method. So what you do, you take this inside piece, fold it kind of like in half, like you're doing a strap. So fold it towards the center. It doesn't have to be even in the center. And then take the other side and fold it. And you can do it one more time if you want, just to make sure it's out of the way. Then take these two ends here, and they should be right sides facing, and you're going to pin those together, making sure that what you sandwiched in between stays out of the seam allowance. Alright, so I'll do that again. Right, have it opened up. I press my seam allowance open. Take one end, just one end with the seam allowance. Fold it to the middle. Take the other end with the seam allowance. Fold it to the middle. Fold it to the middle. And then just take them and fold them again, just out of the way. Alright. Then take your two free ends. You're going to place them with right sides facing. So that's why it's called the burrito, because it's sandwiched in between. Right, you're going to sew around, but make sure that you leave an opening to continue to turn, and also to add your elastic. And you'll see me doing this at the sewing machine, but as you sew, let's say if I start here, once I get here, I'm going to then pull from the inside of here and just keep sewing until I get back around to where I'm leaving my opening. Right, and be careful, make sure that that seam allowance is out of the way. All right. Right, now that I have it all pulled to the right side, here's my opening here. I'm going to grab my elastic and my safety pin. And I'm going to feed it through. And I know when I was sewing the burrito method, it looked kind of awkward and weird, but it works. Only thing you have to do is just make sure that you're keeping right sides facing when you're sewing. I do have a bodkin, but of course I have no idea where it is. Make sure that the other end of your elastic doesn't go into the tube. You could take a pin or another safety pin and pin it. I'm just going to feed it through. And I'm holding on to the other end of the elastic. And hopefully I wasn't off camera when I did that. Yeah, I have to find my bodkin, because that makes it a lot easier to get through. But if you've ever done like an elastic waistband in a garment, same concept. Trying to get it to the other side. And this is a lot of scrunchie. I made it. Alright, so I've seen different methods here. I've seen people tie their elastic in a knot, but I just overlap it and sew. My machine is just a straight stitch, so I can't do a zigzag stitch, but I would say do a zigzag stitch because that helps with the pulling. The zigzag stitch will stretch with the elastic, but since this is just for demo purposes only, I'm just going to take this to my sewing machine and just sew a couple of times back and forth on that elastic. I'm just going to find my seam allowance here, tuck that in from that opening, and just sew really close to that edge. Alright guys, that is it. This is the scrunchie that I made in the video. I showed you this in the intro. This is the extra large scrunchie. And but yeah, I like the burrito method. I don't think that parts of the sewing you could see very well, see what I was doing. But I like the burrito method. It's not bad. And you're basically just pulling the fabric. Just pulling, and still sewing with right sides facing until you get to the opening that you left. or until you get to the starting point, so you can leave about a 1.5 inch opening so you can weed your elastic through. But yeah, I like the burrito method. I like the scrunchie. Like I said, at first I didn't really like it, but I think it's grown on me a little bit. But I will try different size scrunchies. I'll probably make some maybe this week or over the weekend, who knows. But yeah, I'll try different size measurements and different things like that. I think I saw somebody demonstrating, and it looked like they had like a really big wide scrunchie. I don't know what their measurements were, but I was just kind of guesstimating when I cut mine at 7, but I think I'm going to cut mine at 5 inches on the width next time. And then probably won't be as long. Like I said, this was like 43 inches long. So it may be maybe 25, 30 inches long. And then for the smaller ones, I think maybe about 20 inches long might do. Yeah, so we'll see. I don't know. Like I said, this is a video I was experimenting. Wanted to do some scrunchies, get them done. Putting scrunchies on my... You can tell I'm enjoying this, right? Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, click the thumbs up button. Don't forget to subscribe and also hit the notification bell so you'll be notified each time I post a new video. And I'll see you in the next one.